Good morning, it's Kira with Morning in the Mountains, and today I'm here with Stephanie Milani with AAA Tennessee, and we're going to be talking about holiday travels. Now, Stephanie, what can you tell us about your forecast for the traveling, like how busy roads are going to be and stuff like that for the holidays?
Yeah, so looking at other holidays for this year, travel is going to be extremely busy. We anticipate that we will see record numbers of travelers just like we did for Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
So if you're traveling, there's going to be a lot of company out on the roads with you, whether you're driving to your destination or you're flying for those year-end holidays.
So you cover flying, you cover like boat travel as well?
We can talk about boat travel. So we divide it into car travel, air travel, and then other.
Okay.
So that would be people who take a boat, perhaps a ferry or a bus to their destination. It's a very small piece of the pie because when we're talking about travelers, we're talking about people who are traveling 50 miles or more away from home. So you might go to a destination and do something while you're there, but the majority of people are going to either fly or drive to their destinations.
Okay. So do you think there's going to be a lot of people coming into Tennessee or a lot of people going out of Tennessee?
Probably both. So a
Okay.
lot of people, especially with millennials now, they want to have experiences,
Right.
even if it is during the holidays. So a lot of families are taking vacations. They're going to destinations rather than just going to grandma's house for the holidays. So we're seeing a lot of places that have, amusement parks, that have recreation activities, possibly even here in the Smokies. People are going to be coming in to Tennessee to take advantage of kind of a family holiday / vacation.
Yes, it's just after Thanksgiving and there's all kinds of traffic outside right now. I had the hardest time pulling in today. And now, do you think whenever people go fly and things like that, will they have to use real ID? Will that be a factor yet, or how does that work?
Yeah, so definitely a year from now. So when you are making your Thanksgiving or year-end travel plans for next year, you're going to want to make sure that you have that real ID.
Okay.
Now, the real ID you mentioned before is that little star on your
Yes.
driver's license. Now, you're ahead of the game.
Yes,
You
I have
mentioned-
it.
Yes, I do not yet. I'm still trying to find the paperwork. So, you are going to need to have your real ID or a passport to fly after October 1st or on October 1st, 2020.
Okay.
So if you just Google Real ID Tennessee, the state actually has a wonderful website with documents that you'll need. You can go on there and find exactly the documents that you need. And if you don't have them, like me, I can't find my birth certificate, you still have time to go and get that at the county clerk's office and get those papers together and then go to the state office, present that paperwork, apply for your real ID, and then once they kind of look at all of your supporting documents, you can get that real ID. So it is a bit of a process. So if you plan on flying next year or entering a government facility, you will need to get that real ID hopefully sooner rather than later, so you're not crunched for time.
That's good for all those people too whose IDs are super old and they look nothing like what they do in their picture.
Absolutely, yes. You can get your picture made while you're there, kind of update it, make sure your hair looks good and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I was so upset whenever I got mine because we were going to fly this year and we didn't know that the real ID wasn't taking effect until next year. So I was hurrying to get my picture done, and I was kind of upset because I liked my old picture because it was just a year old.
Yeah, so that is something, if your license doesn't renew between now and October 1st, and you do want real ID, you will have to go through that process. If you don't need real ID though, if you don't plan to fly, don't plan to enter a government facility, then you may not need your real ID. And even if you do fly, you can still use that current passport. So, our suggestion is that people go on to the website and see what's right for them and see, if they need that real ID or if they just want to keep using their passport.
That's really good to know. I'm glad you clarified all of this because I do plan on traveling more next year.
Well, and you already have it. So again, you're ahead of the game.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. Now, do you have any tips for holiday travels this year?
Yeah, so avoid major cities
Okay.
is the major tip. Once the travelers and commuters start mixing, especially in the evening time, traffic is going to be extremely bad
Yeah.
in the major cities. So if you can avoid those major cities during rush hour, it will help you save on, some headaches. Also, just plan your trip ahead of time. So, if you have some passengers, let them help you navigate. There's a lot of apps out there, including the AAA mobile app, that can help you find gas prices that are near you. You can, pick the one on the interstate exit that you want to get off at, depending on what gas station you like or the price. Make sure that you have some activities for the kids if you're traveling with kids so that they're not a distraction for you. And of course, we always recommend that people get their vehicle, take it to a trusted repair shop to get that maintenance done so that you're not stranded on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah, that's very important because if there's so many people on the road, it's going to be hard to have AAA come out and get you to come to your rescue.
Absolutely. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, we rescued approximately 368,000 members on this side of the road. That was for dead batteries, keys locked out they were locked in the vehicle, so people were locked out, and then flat tires.
And is this just in Tennessee or all over the U.S.?
That's nationwide.
Wow.
So those three things, you can definitely get your battery tested. You want to make sure that your tire, tread, and air pressure is correct before you head out on the trip. And again, if you have another responsible passenger, just make sure and give them a second set of keys. With the kids running around, you get to a rest stop. Everybody has to go to the bathroom. Everybody wants snacks. So it's easy to kind of lock those keys in your car sometimes.
Those are some really good tips, and it reminds me that I need to get an oil change.
Yes. See, regularly scheduled maintenance.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. I've enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. And then how can people see your all's website? What do they need to go to?
Yeah, so it's just AAA.com. You can find out about membership. We also offer travel and insurance services, and some of those things are only for members, but a lot of our information is for members and non-members.
Well, awesome. That's good to know. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. We've enjoyed having you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Morning in the Mountains. I'm Kira.